All right, guys, finally, nurses, both vaccinated and unvaccinated, can agree on something to do with COVID. Finally, it's about time we all got together and decided on something, and that is that we all believe that the CDC is wrong in their new decision to create a 5-day quarantine. That's it. That's right. Only 5 days to be isolated from the world or from other people after being in contact and getting COVID positive. You only need 5 days of quarantine after your COVID positiveness. I, like most nurses, if not all nurses, agree that this is a terrible decision and the CDC should really reconsider going back to the 10-day minimum, if not longer. I can go ahead and tell you, as someone who has had COVID, I was not feeling good at all till like maybe day number 8. So 5 days out, that's a terrible idea to allow me to go out into the world. Now, as no one has come out and said this is employer motivated, I will go ahead and say that this seems to be motivated by many employers, as they're worried about losing productive value of the essential workers who need to be there. Therefore, somebody up top at the CDC's gotten word, says, hey, maybe we should change this to 5 to help out our employers, help the country economy. No one has actually said that, but I would not be surprised if that ends up being part of the reason behind it. Many people, including myself, worry that with this new 5-day quarantine, that employers will now tell people who got COVID, who are positive for COVID, that 5 days after they're positive, they'll say, hey, you know what? And come on back to work or find yourself a new job. And guess what? I myself got mouths to feed. I'm going to bring my sickly self on up in there. I sure would. If I had to, I sure would. Fortunately, when I got COVID, my employer gave me 14 days off with pay. Didn't even have to use my own vacation time. So that was good for me. However, I was the very first one to get it with my company. True story. In any case, this new 5-day quarantine just doesn't seem right when this entire time we've been told 14 days and sometimes we're told 10 days. Even the 10 days is double the 5 days that we are now being told. Has anybody even done any confirmation on this 5-day quarantine? It doesn't seem that way. It just seems that the CDC is like, ta-da, let's go back after 5 days. And it just appears to be employer motivated. It does not seem to be, as everybody keeps saying, point to the science. It doesn't seem to be scientific based at all. It just seems to be like they just decided this on a Wednesday. Hey, you know what? We're going to go to 5 days. Tired of you guys getting 2 weeks off. It just doesn't seem like they put any thought into this at all. They're just, changing it up. And all of this comes as America is seeing another spike in the COVID. I'm going to pronounce it wrong, the Omicron variant, not the Delta variant that we did have a few months ago, is now just spiking cases all over the place. I mean, just yesterday here in North Carolina, we had 9,300 new cases. Woo, that's a lot. That is a bunch. To my knowledge, that's like the biggest spike that I know of in the last 6 months. We haven't had a spike like that in since spring of 2021, earlier this year. It's been a long time since America or since anyone has seen spikes this severe, all thanks to the Omicron variant. Yes, we are now spiking, and now CDC wants us to cut back on our quarantine days. This is not looking good. It is what it is, and I don't know why CDC decided on this. And I, like many nurses, if not all nurses, am in the opinion that this is the wrong decision. As someone who has had COVID and has worked with COVID patients, although I'm not a COVID nurse, I have seen it in my patients. I can go ahead and tell you, no one feels good 5 days after a positive unless they did not have symptoms to begin with. That is almost the start of feeling good. And I would say the bare minimum of feeling any better starts at day number 5. And this new decision just sort of makes me cringe a little bit. It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound healthy. It sounds unproductive, if you were to ask me, as many other nurses, including the presidents of nurses' unions. Yes, the presidents of nurses' unions are taking stands on this as well, and they're not happy about it either. And it appears that vaccinated or unvaccinated nurses all seem to agree right now this is not the way to move forward. What's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on the matter, the new CDC guidelines of 5 days? I completely disagree with it. I think we should go to at least a minimum of 10 days, if not 14. Let me know what you think. If you like nurses making the news on Thursday, there should be a playlist down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Here's a new video over there, and like, share, and subscribe over there. Let me know how you feel about these new CDC guidelines. Not CDC variants, but CDC guidelines. Hope it helps. Thank you much.